Welcome to Real to the T, where the real gets realer, the tea gets hotter, and the motivation hits harder than your favorite espresso martini. Hosted by Amanda Rupley, top 1% realtor, best-selling author, speaker, and founder of Aspire Realty Group. This show is your VIP pass to the chaos, comedy, and candid truth behind real estate, pop culture, and life as a boss mom building an empire. From wild closings to headline-sparking hot takes, and that final sprinkle of inspiration you didn't know you needed, nothing's filtered and nothing's off limits. So buckle up. It's time for Real to the T.
We built a business together, then another, and now we build homes and hold space. This episode is about friendship, foundation, forgiveness, and how the work, the real work, starts long before the house gets framed. Hey guys, welcome back to Real to the T, the show where real estate gets real, pop culture gets messy, and we don't gatekeep the good stuff. I'm Amanda, your brutally honest bestie behind the mic. But this podcast, you know, it's not just about real estate, it's about real life. And if it's on my mind, it's on the mic. Today's guest is someone who's not only been a huge part of my professional life, but also my personal one. Aimee Enlow is a powerhouse in the custom home building world, currently serving as a custom home sales counselor with Partners in Building, where she helps clients design and build their dream homes from the ground up. With a background that includes years of Paul Taylor homes and a passion for personalized client service, Aimee's the kind of person you want on your side when starting with dirt and dreaming big. But beyond the contracts and the closings, Aimee is one of my favorite people to do life with. We've built businesses together. We've traveled together, from jungle adventures in Belize to 2 cruises and more conferences than we can count. And through all of it, we've done the work. A lot of work. The friendship kind, the healing kind, and the kind that makes space for growth, evolution, and a whole lot of laughter. She's one of my favorite people to sit on a patio and spill everything with, except for the champagne. Aimee, I'm so happy to welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Wow. Cheers.
Cheers.
To that. Cheers to us.
Cheers to us.
Cheers.
18 years.
Cheers to your podcast.
My arms aren't quite long enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. Let's take it back to 2008.
Okay. Long time ago.
Long. Doesn't it feel like a whole lifetime ago?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a whole lifetime ago.
From a
actually.
real estate perspective, like that's when the market crashed also.
Right.
2008 was big.
2008 was big.
Mm-hmm.
Our husbands worked together.
Yeah.
We had mutual friends. And from there, it just kept overlapping. What do you remember about that first season of our friendship?
I feel like we were babies.
Yeah.
I mean, we had babies. And
one who kicked me in the face
the first time we ever met.
Gave me a bloody nose.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just babies. I mean, I feel like when I think back to that time, I think of like me being such an infant in friendship and learning, you know, all the ways. I mean, I feel like I've known you. I mean, I really have known you almost half my life,
Isn't
which
that
is
crazy?
wild. Yeah.
And all of our kids' lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Our boys are exactly the same age.
Yeah.
Our girls are exactly the same age.
Yeah.
So we've literally done the whole mom season together.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like kind of like popping in and out of each other's lives.
Like a lot in
over-
sometimes,
Yeah. backing
backing out in other times, a lot in sometimes. More a lot than not,
I agree.
especially with multiple businesses.
It's almost like, and I know I've said this to you before, but what's that movie?
you have
Hancock,
yeah.
right? Like where they were, you know, kind of created together and they're like, they gravitate to each other,
Yeah.
but then they have to do away because their powers get less or whatever. And then they keep like finding each other over the seasons and the centuries. That's kind of how we've been. You didn't,
I've still never seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, no, I should watch it.
Oh, yeah, you should watch it. We should watch it together.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's kind of been us.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
this this circle season.
But this is the best.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a whole different feeling
Mhm.
of friendship that we've really worked hard at
Yeah.
for a long
Mhm.
time. Not just with each other, but just in our lives in
Yeah.
general. You know, learning our boundaries and what relationships serve us and what relationships don't, and what jobs serve us and what jobs don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what kids
Knowing
serve as. I'm just
ourselves. Yeah.
kidding. No.
Knowing ourselves
Yeah.
best and communication. So
Communication's
much
big.
communication. Yeah.
I don't feel we had
Hard
the
conversations.
Oh, yeah, there's been a lot of hard
Mhm.
conversations.
Yeah.
Very
But they're
uncomfortable.
necessary.
Mhm.
That's the thing with intimate relationships that I think that gets so passed over, that people don't want to do the work of a hard conversation. Hard conversations don't have to be harmful. They just are hard. And we have to sit in the discomfort and express,
Mhm.
listen, not be defensive, not place blame. Just have a hard conversation and see if people can meet you where you're at. See if you can meet them where they're at. Yeah.
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 That is something that I've learned a lot from you because it's no secret that I struggle with hard conversations. I've gotten a lot better and I realized
Practice
that
on me.
right. We have.
Yeah.
um, but also like I love what you said that they don't have to be bad conversations just
Or
because they're
harmful.
hard, right, or
Yeah.
harmful. It is necessary, one, to understand, that how somebody's feeling is their feeling. And I don't have the right to tell them that what they feel is
Yeah.
wrong. I
Mhm.
can say I disagree with it or that wasn't my intention, but
Yeah.
it's important to validate how they feel and explain that when they share that, we learned this in therapy also. My husband and I, way back in the day, is saying, okay, when you say this, it makes me feel this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And two things can happen there. I mean, we understand our impact on others, which is so important.
Mhm.
And then also we can maybe soften our triggers. So if we can express, hey, this might, I don't know, be like wild, but this is how I'm feeling. Like,
Mhm.
I think you don't mean it like this, but this is how it made me feel. Can I just confirm with you that, can you just explain to me
Yeah.
how you meant it and put my insecurities at bay?
Yeah.
And then do you do that enough times with enough intimate people? And it doesn't mean that everyone's going to meet you, right? Like
Right.
some people are not meant for that world. And, yeah. And then there are plenty that are. And so you have to filter out and sometimes we get hurt in
Absolutely.
the meantime.
Well, and we live in a very digital world. Everything's over text nowadays, right?
Mhm.
Yesterday was actually a prime example. We were talking about this episode,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about, kind of this flow
Yeah.
and the way that I communicated it to you, you heard it differently."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, let me send to you what I mean."
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just very
And I also just expressed I'm not like that doesn't feel in alignment and
Yeah.
that thing. And you're like, oh no, I actually didn't mean that. Here's the thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's perfect.
Right.
It's just saying the thing instead of me maybe holding some sort of feeling or resentment or being like, oh, just
Absolutely.
say,
Yeah.
and with some intention around softness too.
Mhm.
It's not like this is like free reign to just be,
A jerk.
yeah. Or just blunt. A lot of people
Right.
are like, oh, I'm just blunt. I just say it how it is. But you also have to consider the other person's feelings.
Mhm. I've learned a lot from you in
Oh,
regards to that.
thanks.
And Derek has learned a lot from you in regards to that. Okay, let's go back to the 2008 to 2011 era.
Yeah.
Because
Oh gosh.
that was a whole era.
Yeah.
So you were my fitness instructor.
Hmm.
Gosh, that
I
was
did that once.
yeah, yeah, you did.
I did. And it
Um,
was so fun.
it was so
Wow.
fun. It was so that was some of my most favorite
Me too.
times was those relationships whom most of the trainers we're still friends with.
Oh yeah,
You
even
know?
clients.
Yeah.
Even a few months back, I went to dinner with some of my former clients and friends. I mean, yeah, it's years of a community. I mean, I did that for 6 years. So
Crazy.
building a community of women that were willing to get up and work out at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. outside
Mhm.
almost all year round.
Mhm.
It just builds such oh man, that was so
Unity,
great.
a bond, a strong
Hmm.
a strength,
Yeah.
Pushed us to the limits, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so most people don't get to say that they've built multiple businesses with one of their best friends. But Texas Fit Chicks was wild
Hmm.
and Synergence had its moments.
Hmm.
What do you think those early days taught us about business and about each other?
Oh yeah. About business. that you can do anything, right? Like if you want to decide to do anything. I mean, I was working corporate and then I decided I want to be a personal trainer and I decided I wanted to
And you had no previous background to that, correct? Okay.
no previous background other than I like to work out, right?
Yeah.
But I became a personal trainer and I did that at the same time as working a corporate job with 2 small kids. And I was like, I can do this. I can quit my corporate job and be home with my kids for the summer. It was like crux time, May. I had to decide and I put a spreadsheet together about how big I could build my
I love your
classes,
spreadsheets.
add another class, save on this. And I did it. And so it's like, I think both you and I mean, the sky is the limit. We believe that, we want to do something. We're going to just do it. We don't like something. We're just going to not do that or change it or, so really the empowerment to know and believe that we can create our reality. And
We've always been like-minded about that.
Yeah.
We've never wanted somebody else to limit what we could do because
Yeah.
we knew we're very similar in regards to if we're going to commit to something, we jump feet first
Yep.
and we know we're going to take it, all the way,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. And I think what I've learned is that not everything is worth jumping both feet in all the time. And you and I can both do that. You probably have had more discernment on that before than I did. Like I would get excited. I'm a generator, so I'm like, oh, idea, and I thought that everyone needed to be brought to fruition.
Yeah.
And you're like more honed in on the ones before I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our friendship back then, I think it was just
It was still very new though.
yeah, I was going to say young
Yeah.
and blooming. Like it was very new. It was very young. And also we're both competitive. And
Very.
so, but competitive with ourselves. And we both want to be the top. We both want to do whatever it takes, not whatever it takes at the expense of somebody else. But, we just want to be the top and prove to ourselves
Right.
that we can be the top at whatever we do.
Because it felt like back then sort of our own ego, I'll even
For sure.
say,
Weak
right?
egos.
Is like
Yeah.
your success is based on who is the top.
Yeah.
And if you're not the top, then you're not, like there's still room to go.
Yeah. I'm working on that
I'm
now. Currently, like I want to be the top.
Yeah.
Why do I want to be the top? I'm peeling the layers of like, what does it mean? Is it just because I just want to be the top and I want to prove to myself that I can be the top? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or is there like some sort of need for another validation of love that I'm looking for, to be seen from people. So
Sure.
I'm still peeling that onion.
I feel like there's a fine line between recognition and affirmation,
Mm.
and it can go either way depending on what season and what journey you've either been through or you're going through,
Yeah.
right? And it's difficult sometimes. Obviously, I've lost my dad, and so for me, it's like I feel like I have to have this affirmation of like I'm living the life that he would have wanted me to have, like that he would be proud if he's looking down on me right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a tough internal battle.
Yeah.
It's a constant struggle because you want to be careful, right? Like we're especially in this business where it is public service versus self-service.
Mhm.
And that is a big component that we both believe. When it becomes about us individually, we're no longer serving the client and it's selfish. But we've always believed that if we serve others, the blessings follow, right?
I love that you said that. That's a huge part of how I operate. Like
Yeah.
I don't a lot of people in our industry, any industry actually, can operate by numbers.
Yeah.
Like a number of units or a number of dollars or whatever that goal is. That stresses me out, to have a set number of goal like that.
Mhm.
My goal tends to be more like how many new clients can I meet this week? How many touches can I make with people where I impact their life, or something relational that drives those other things. So those are my goals, and then the other will follow. As long as I know that I'm staying true to serving
Yeah.
and to connecting and building relationships, then the other stuff will come.
That is so you. It's
Well,
always been
I'm
you.
glad I'm in alignment with myself. Yeah. The relationships
brings you
drive
back.
me for sure.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, again, I was just talking about it on the last episode with Robert, like relationships matter. And especially after going through some sort of pandemic like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
just I mean, that brought so much perspective to so many different people, because the isolation
Yeah.
and the mental health aspect, and the depression that people were feeling.
Mhm.
We are not meant to not be relational.
Right, right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, and relationships take work.
they do.
Wh-
It can be exhausting
Yeah,
actually,
it can be.
And so then it's like, how do we take care of ourselves in the meantime while we're serving other people, and
Hmm.
that's so important. I think that's something I probably struggled with earlier in my careers.
You're very good about self care. What what do you do to kind of bring that to the forefront for you to make sure that you're always in check?
Thank you. I'd like to think that it's something I always am working at. I don't know that I'm great at it. I try to have a lot of intention around that. And so um slower mornings, for example, I didn't work out this morning. I work out most days of the week. And I didn't this morning because yesterday was a little bit harder. I was a little bit more tired yesterday and I struggled through the day. And so I went to sleep at 9:30 last night. I didn't wake up to an alarm. I set one just in case like something crazy happened and I
Yeah.
slept in for the first time in my life. But, I knew I gave myself like a full 8.5 hours of sleep and just wanted to have a little bit slower. So it's like the softness that I offer myself.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just try to listen.
Not overcommitting.
Oh gosh, yes, thank you. Not overcommitting. I
Yeah.
look at my calendar with feelings. So
I love that.
yeah,
Say that again.
I look at my calendar with feelings. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Explain that.
yeah, so I look at there's certain appointments I have with different clients, and some of them take more energy. Most of my appointments are very long, typically 2 to 4 hour type of appointments
Hmm.
because of what I do. And different clients require different energy from me. And so I know if I'm different clients, different appointments require different energy. And so I know what my capacity is for the day. And so I'll make sure I give myself enough space for hydrating, for eating, for no more appointments for the day. I make sure that I schedule my workouts in the morning,
Hmm.
and I
I do the
don't,
same.
yeah, and I don't crunch my mornings too close to that so that I can feel comfortable getting ready so that I feel good about leaving my house in the day.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like these intentions around my calendar. And even I love one day a week if I can get it where I don't leave the house and I work from home, and I call it Herkle Dirkling. I didn't make it up, I think it's out there on the internet, but it's like Herkle Dirkle all day long. Working from bed, eating from bed. It's not good bedroom hygiene, I know. Don't come at me. But it's
Listen, I
like
love a good bed watching
let's
day.
watch Love Island
Yeah.
while I work, while I take phone calls and emails and, whatever the thing is, like I love that. And so if I can give myself one day a week where I'm not having to put on makeup and get dressed, yeah, and I can cook all the meals like, it's summer, so the
Hmm.
kids are home and my husband works from home, so it's like if I can make breakfast for everybody and I can make lunch for everybody and then I can make dinner, it's like, "Oh, I made y'all 3 whole meals today. This is great."
You're
And I
like,
cook, I
I
love
am
to cook.
winning.
Yeah, but typically it's
Yeah.
like breakfast and dinner or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it just feels very good. It feels like I'm nurturing that part of my life as well.
Hmm. And it serves and fills your heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love the owning your calendar thing,
Mm.
because that definitely has been a struggle for me over the years, particularly because when I was in entertainment, I didn't get to own my calendar.
Yeah,
I mean, it was always based on the shows, filming would run late, or the casting we'd have, on American Idol, 10,000 people show up to audition and we had to get through them all, and
yeah.
and so that was never something that I was able to do until recently. I have been super focused on it, and, trying to get back into the routine of my workouts regularly. We're getting up in the morning and walking, first thing in the morning for 30
That's
minutes.
great.
And then we have our shake, and then we, continue the day working out or whatever, is based on the calendar. But I started putting in my bedtime, because especially in the summer when there is no
Less structure. Yeah.
schedule,
Yeah, no
it's
school.
like I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock at night," and I go to bed
Mhm.
at 9.
Yeah.
And I still wake up. I mean, it doesn't matter how late I go to bed. I'm
Right.
still going to wake up at, 6:30 in the morning. And so it's really important that I'm more intentional about that too.
I think it's also important to schedule in fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so really looking
Date
at your
nights.
calendar, date nights and fun, like
Yeah.
fun with friends, fun with girlfriends. I think if you look at your calendar and you're like, "Oh, I don't have any fun scheduled." Like, where on my calendar am I scheduling a lot of laughing and joy?
Mm-hmm.
That is so important,
It is so
because of
important.
course, hopefully we're all laughing a little bit each day at something, but like really intentional
Yeah.
uh laughing and joy. I think we don't do it enough. And so like being intentional there as well, I think is helpful for me.
Mm-hmm. We talked earlier about sort of having to kind of learn who we are and how to grow, right? There were times that we've had to take a step back. We've had to regroup. We kind of touched on it briefly,
Mhm.
learn to speak differently. What do you think helped us shift from working together to really getting to know how to hold space for one another?
Mm. Well, I can only speak for myself. I mean, I think I've softened so much. And so I definitely take full responsibility for being a little harder. I think, I think anybody that knows me and has known me for a long time would say I'm the same but different, and I'm just softer. I'm softer with myself. It required being softer with myself, learning how
Hmm.
to do that in order to be softer with others um and not leading my life with insecurities and fears
Yes.
and so for whatever reason, there were times where you and I triggered each other and couldn't communicate or couldn't get through those
Hmm.
walls. And so, yeah, I don't, timelines are weird, memories are weird. I don't know that I remember
It
like,
flies so
yeah,
fast.
I don't
Yeah.
have like these like, oh, this happened, you did this, I did this. Like it's just like we rubbed each other
Hmm.
at certain times. And it's like we were trying to have those intimate relationships and couldn't get there
Hmm.
without.
But yet we would still share some of the most intimate
Oh, for sure.
things from our lives.
I would say like the rubs were few. I mean, I can remember two and like it being few and far between.
One where we had to have a mediator,
We did have to have a mediator. Well,
which
let's
feels
be
so
honest.
long ago
That
now.
person really just wanted to be a
I
mediator. I
agree.
mean,
I
we
agree.
could have made
A
it
little bit of a meddler, actually.
totally.
Uh-huh.
And actually, probably the reason that happened.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And I'll speak for myself. I definitely had a lot of insecurities, being a people pleaser for so long that I don't like people feeling upset. And it kind of got to the point where I always felt like, and this was not any direct intention, but it always felt like I was disappointing. And so then I get triggered and I'm like, well, forget you. Like, I don't need you that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And coming from this place where you always feel like it's like somebody's trying to be negative at you when really that wasn't the case at all. And that wasn't just with you, it was with a few relationships in my
Yeah.
life at that moment. And so having to really understand, like, why do I automatically assume the worst?
Mhm.
I shouldn't. I should be comfortable in knowing that let's have a conversation and
Yeah.
figure out, hey, when you said this, it made me feel this way. Is that what you intended?
Right.
And having
Yeah.
those conversations really helped me a lot in some important relationships with me.
Mhm.
But I also really appreciate that we could go like months without talking. And then you'll always send me a happy birthday,
Mm.
always. And then we hadn't talked in like 2 years. I think that one
What?
time. Yeah, it was like a good, I mean, we on Facebook and stuff, but we
Yeah.
hadn't seen or talked to each other. And then
Wow.
you sent me, I think it was a little after COVID.
Well, if you think like COVID was like kind of 4 years,
It's
right, or
so
something, I don't know.
crazy to me that was
Oh,
five
then that
years
makes
ago.
sense.
Yes.
Yeah, because 'cause I'm thinking like, when in my life have I not
Yeah.
seen or talked to you for 2 years?
I mean, it could
That
like
you're
my
probably right, I'm
timeline could have
sure.
been skewed, but you sent me a text message on my birthday, and we both share similar birthdays, so I'm
Uh-huh.
like 2 weeks before you, and I
Birthday month.
remember you were so loving and just like, I just want you to know I see everything that you're doing and everything that you're building, and I'm just so damn proud of you.
Mm.
And I just started to cry because we do that often. But I'm like, there's my Aimee. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. And like, we just had this moment of gushing back and forth.
Mhm. I remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And, and you always show up with purpose and intention. And you're always very aware about that for other people.
Yeah, I don't think we should hold back goodness.
Mhm.
We all need it,
Yeah,
you
life
know?
is far too short,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
if withholding a compliment or like good feelings yeah, it just makes us all feel better.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Okay, so now fast forward to today, you're still building,
Yeah, I'm still
but
building.
this time it's homes from the ground up. And I think what I love most is that you're bringing that same level of empathy and drive and thoughtfulness to your clients now, just in ground up new construction. So let's talk about that a little bit.
I love it. I love what I do. I love it for so many reasons. The creativity
Mhm.
and also how we've talked about the softness. For example, in my past, I would say to people, and I could translate it into the work that I do now, but I don't. I could say, you should do XYZ. You should.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you could, or have you considered, or have you thought about,
Mhm.
And so
Thought
even
provoking.
oh yeah, and
Mhm.
and just like ideas because I have a lot of ideas and that's why this is custom home building is I'm such a good fit for it. And I'm not telling a client you should do this. I mean, it's your house. You can do whatever you want. But have you considered,
Right.
because I sit down with clients, this is all I do. So it's so cool what this other client's doing. Like, have you considered this as well?
Mhm.
Um, but
And
it
it's just one switch of one word. Instead of could
yeah.
or instead of should, you know
Feels so different
right,
receiving it, right? If
right.
I were to like, "You should do this,"
Wow.
or like, "Have you considered doing this?"
Right.
So different.
So different.
Yeah, old Amy versus new Amy. But I love it, and I love the relationships, I love learning, I have one client that, our process is we sit down and we meet for a couple hours, and I learn about the family and learn how they wanna live in their home,
Oh, I love that.
and I take a ton of notes, a ton, and there's nothing that holds us back from doing anything in custom build except for the city, the HOA, and the budget,
Mhm.
and the lot, of course, the lot. But other than that, we can do anything. And I sat down with a client. So anyways, we'll sit down and then within a week or two, I'm able to deliver a preliminary plan and we sit down together and that's my favorite appointment because I'm able to sit down and show the client like this is what I heard you say and all of these
Ugh, I
ideas that
love
we
that.
came together have now are on a piece of paper and now let's start adjusting and
Mhm.
moving. And I've had people cry, and just be like, "Wow,
You really heard me.
yeah." And
Oh, wow.
it's so cool. It's the coolest. I just had my first client in this last year. Sell and move in. And so to see like literally what we wrote on paper on my notepad to come into fruition to this beautiful home. They sent me a picture of their two little girls eating Chick-fil-A at a little play table in their house the first night after they got their keys. And
Oh.
like it's those things that you're like, oh, they're gonna grow up in this home and make all of these memories and the way that the house is angled so they can have this particular tree line view was my idea, and the house is shaped
Wow.
based on an idea and a vision that I had for their lot, and that is the coolest thing ever,
Mhm. You get to put your own thumbprint on it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is so cool.
yeah.
So how long typically, I mean, of course, every city is going to be different because of the permitting and, the
Mhm.
processes and whatnot, depending on how backlogged they are. But let's just say that it was, something where you didn't need to have permits. If it was in the county, ETJ or whatever, what is the timeline from, signing on a contract to finish out?
Yeah, I love a no HOA ETJ. So, like,
Don't we
give
all?
me that all day long.
I'm like, if you know of any no HOA ETJ lots, let us
Yeah,
know.
right.
I'll bring the buyer. Amy will build
Yeah, yeah,
it.
because, I specifically do, build on your lot clients. So the client will, come to me if they're considering buying a lot, or they'll come to me when they already own a lot. So,
Mhm.
um, the process is the fastest we can really come up with, like, a plan, that the client feels is perfect and the pricing that they feel comfortable with is probably a month. And typically that's not normal. I mean, I would say at least
Wow.
2 months, 6
Okay.
weeks to 8 weeks to really, like, hone in on the front end, and then we contract. And so from contract to keys is 1 year.
And you have Partners in Building has their own architectural
Yeah, we
team,
have in-house
correct?
architecture, in-house design. So we're fully custom in the beginning and we don't charge for the plan design process at all. We don't have a set price per square foot. So we feel like it's only fair if we draw a plan and price it for the client before they have to commit in any
Do
way.
you think that that's what sets you guys apart
Oh, for sure.
in regards to the other custom home builders?
For sure. And we're fixed price. That
Mhm.
sets us apart. And then I guess the last thing that probably sets us apart is how many custom homes we build a year. We've been doing it for 40 years. So out of Houston, Nashville, and Dallas is our newest market. And so because of how many, we 350 custom homes a year amongst all three divisions, 75 in Dallas last year. And so because
Wow.
of that, we have a ton of buying power.
Mhm.
And we get items that people want in their custom homes that are at an incredible rate, and we're able to pass those savings on to the client. So building with us is a lot less expensive than most people would assume to be a custom home.
And then also, with Partners in Building, you guys have a specific way where you can acquire the lot, right? And then they can roll it all into one construction loan?
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that's not really like a partners in building thing. That's a lending thing. But
Okay.
there is it's a construction loan, and the construction loan can roll in the lot and the
With the preferred lenders that you work with?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't yes, with our preferred lender, and also I'm sure other people can do it as well. Yeah,
Nice.
they can shop around. We're not we don't own our mortgage company. We partner with a mortgage company with a lender that is in the top 1% of construction loans, and that's so helpful. It makes closing smooth. It's their creative lending can really get people to the closing table, and that's the main concern, right? Like just let's close. Construction loans close at the beginning. So, it's very different than like closing at the end. Yeah.
And what kind of price points would you say that you guys kind of work within as far as a custom? Because I feel like there's a misconception here.
There is. I would say the least expensive custom that I've built is 700,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that? You can
Mhm.
get a custom home for 700,000?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
doable. That's not with a lot. So,
Sure.
and the cool thing is the lot, um, the price of our custom home doesn't change based on where it is. I get this question all the time.
Mhm.
People say, "Well, if I decide to buy a lot in Prosper, will the house be more expensive?" And I said, "No, the lot will be more
Sure.
expensive." And that's it, you know? But the house, if you tell me you're looking at a lot in Prosper and it doesn't work out and then you move to Argyle,
Denison. Yeah.
wherever,
Mhm.
the house price doesn't change.
Mhm.
Yeah, just the lot
Wow.
price.
That's amazing. And so generally speaking, what size of lots do you typically work within?
Oh,
I know it depends on the
it
size of the house, but let's just give an example for those that are listening.
people bring all size lots. I would say uh, we love to work on an acre because then there's no boundary, right?
Mhm.
I would say we go a smaller than a quarter of an acre all the way up to 6 acres or more. I mean,
Okay.
people will want buy larger land,
Sure.
even more, and then like want to zone off just for their house.
So if somebody had identified just say a quarter acre lot, what size house can typically go on
Oh
that?
gosh, I can't math that.
Okay.
I gotta look at it and math it.
But if anybody wanted
It depends on a
to
lot of times it's like, coverage that the city
Mhm.
requires for that lot. It also require like, I ask for the survey and we look at the building lines,
the lot lines,
the
the
lot li
setbacks and
mhm.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, so everything's a little different.
But you guys also are very consumer front facing. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
do these workshops a couple of times a year.
Mhm.
I mean, a couple times a month,
Yeah,
actually, right?
yeah.
How do people find out about that if they want to come and learn? And what exactly does that sort of meeting look like?
Yeah, sometimes I put on a seminar at the office, sometimes I host a dinner. We market, people get mailers or people get, see ads or whatever. You can go to our website, partnersinbuilding.com, and then click on events, learn more. And I teach people about the process of building on their lot. And so some people are just interested in what that looks like for them,
Mhm.
and then they want to go find a lot. And then some people already own a lot and are shopping builders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
And if they wanted to get in contact with you in regards to this, we'll talk about that at the end. But it is important to know that she spells her name
Mm,
Aimee.
I'm a
Aimee,
yeah.
Aim, like aim, and then Enlow,
Hmm.
Enlow.
Yeah.
So if you do go to Partners in Building, definitely look for her there. But let's switch gears a little
Okay.
bit and let's go into the tea because we have been on some trips, girl.
We have.
We we have been to all inclusives in Mexico. We have been on
Cruises, we went to
cruises.
Jamaica and
We
Belize.
we went to Belize. We got a parasite in Belize.
We did. I got salmonella poisoning and a couple
Oh,
of bot
let's talk
flies.
about that one. Oh my gosh. So there was a group of 14 of us that
Yeah.
went with Texas Fit Chicks
Mhm.
actually. And we went on this. So the owner of the company at the time would create, these incentive trips. And the incentive trips were usually always very like exotic and glamorous. And then this one, we were like, whew.
It was cool.
It was super
For
cool,
Belize.
but very different than what we were expecting, I think. And it was like a jungle adventure style, very
like tree houses
active.
built in
Yeah.
the jungle.
Luxury
it was very cool. Luxury
tree
tree
houses.
houses.
Mhm.
But luxury meant no AC and a spider in your shower.
Yeah.
I got the biggest spider in my shower.
And
I'll never forget that.
walking a mile. So it was cool though, because you
yeah.
had that communal tree house,
Mhm.
which was like our, I guess, the clubhouse where we would go and eat and stuff. But everything. So one of the things that we had to do for some, do you remember my full on breakdown on the top of the mountain, ziplining down, and you guys got pictures of it? And I was like, I don't know what to do.
And it was
I don't know what to
raining.
do. It was
Oh,
raining. Well,
yeah.
that was, it wasn't
It was
even
probably dangerous.
it was very dangerous. It was not about the ziplining part. It was the part that it was raining, pouring rain. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm just going to slide. Like the locking mechanism is not going to hold. And I'm just going to slide down and plummet to my death.
But you didn't. You're here.
I didn't.
You
I'm
made
here
it
today. But you guys got super fun pictures.
Oh, that was fun. The tubing was fun through the caves.
Yeah.
That was fun. But we were so sick. I mean, we got 2 rounds of being very sick.
12 of the 14 girls got deathly ill. I mean, we were sick.
We were down and out.
I remember I had walked down to like the pool area, and we were waiting to go on another excursion, and it all hit me, and I got so fatigued. And so I thought like, okay, maybe it's my lupus triggering or whatever. And I was walking back, and I literally blacked out. And the next thing I remember is I'm being woken up and I'm being carried back to my cabin. Apparently I had passed out on a lounger. And I have no memory of it at all. And they brought in like massage therapists to like rub my joints and stuff. And I was vomiting. And it was brutal. And then unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that a lot of the other girls were also having the same symptoms, all gastrointestinal stuff. And we like could not figure out what was going on. And then we get home.
Yeah. And I was not getting better. And I was having
we were at the airport and you were very sick.
Are you sure that wasn't Cancun? Because I was very sick after Cancun at the airport.
That one too, because you got
I was very
food poisoning
sick.
from
I got
lettuce.
food poisoning the night before from lettuce from room service.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Cancun too.
You were like laid out across the back seat of the plane.
I was so sick. Yeah. Yeah. I ended up coming home, and I remember being at the gym after I had gone to the doctor and gotten some antibiotics, and the health department called me, and they were like, "We're calling you because you have salmonella poisoning." And
the U.S. Health Department
called me because that's how they track it.
Yeah.
And I guess if they test it, a doctor tests it and it's positive, I guess they have to turn it in. And the U.S. Health Department called me and asked me all the questions, and I had to be on a very long dose of a very high or intense antibiotic.
Yeah.
And I also came home with bot flies embedded in my skin. It was my biggest fear.
Actually had a big
I was the
fear
one that was
about
like
this.
warning everybody about it.
She was telling us, she's like, make sure you wear bug spray because bot flies are really known in like the Costa Rica and Belize
Don't look it up.
areas. And we're like, what the hell is a bot fly? Like, Aimee, you're fine. And sure enough, you came home with bot flies.
Yeah, I did. And thank goodness I was aware of it because I was able to monitor it. And like within the first week, I asked my husband, they were on the back of my leg, so I couldn't see them. And I was like, can you take a picture? And then let's look up the beginning stages of what bot flies look like. And I went to the doctor, and the next day was Thanksgiving, and I was going to be running the turkey trot. And so she was like, I can give you a couple stitches and do an incisions or we can just like suffocate what's happening in there right now with a cream and ointment. And so I did the suffocation method to avoid the cutting.
Yeah.
And it was fine, but I don't need to go back to Belize again.
I was just going to say in fact, I actually warned Meg and Mike. I was like, no desire.
Yeah.
Like Derek called. So we all came home. We had done this hike, and we had to walk through a river, which is what they think that we had gotten because we all ate the same thing and only 12 of us got sick. And they believe that we picked up a parasite when we were walking through the river because mine was a parasite, not the salmonella poisoning.
Yeah.
But Derek nicknamed my parasite Giuseppe. He was like, I found a little American girl and hopped right in.
That was rough.
Yeah. It was brutal. I never want to go back to Belize. But the
Cancun was
people
so
were
fun.
so nice in Belize,
Oh,
though.
they were so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cancun was a blast.
Oh my gosh. The
Except for
boat.
when we showed up to karaoke and started singing from the windows of the wall,
Yeah.
not realizing that it was American Idol, not actually karaoke.
Yeah.
And there were 14
That was
girls on a
so
stage,
fun. That was so fun.
dancing to a rap song, and the girl before
We
us
bring
did
it.
Celine Dion.
Nobody can ever accuse us of not being fun.
We were so fun that they actually moved us to a different building
Oh, that's true.
because they were like, "You guys are a little too
Yeah.
loud for this building."
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
have a really funny picture of us and on a catamaran in Cancun.
Oh, we were doing handstands.
Yeah, we were doing handstands, and I'm like upside down in a frog handstand,
Yeah.
handstand, and everybody's like laid out. It's so fun.
I remember we've had a lot of really good
Mhm.
ones. And then, you and Ben were just starting to date when we were on the cruise.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
And then you, Christy, and I,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Shannon had all gone to. We wanted to see a beach when
Yeah.
I don't remember which city we were docked in at that point. But we did like a little beach thing, not
Yeah.
far from the cruise ship actually, but
Mhm.
we were like running back because we got delayed in traffic because it started to rain.
Yep.
And we're like, oh my God, the boat's going to leave us. And you're on FaceTime on my phone and you're like, Ben, hold on, baby. And you like put him down and he went through the X-ray machine.
like the security X-ray machine, and then I got him out.
Do you remember the guy too that was like running the X-ray machine picks up? He's like, hey, Ben. Yeah.
That was like over 10 years ago. Somewhere
Can you believe
10,
that?
11. Yeah, that's crazy. 10
I feel
years
like
ago.
all that means is that we're just overdue for another trip.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's long overdue.
Yeah.
But we've had some fun ones.
Mhm.
That was, I think, some of my most favorite memories, but also just really helped me kind of realize how important the girl time aspect is too. Just to be silly with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
But a lot of formed relationships there and
Mhm.
strengthened relationships. And, I mean, when you get a parasite and bot flies together,
What are you gonna do? You got to be
It's a-
friends.
that's a formed relationship right there. It's ongoing. Okay, let's transition a little bit. So we talked a little bit earlier about how we were both babies when we
Mhm.
first met, and building businesses, particularly at that age, but also being married to law enforcement because that is a whole different schedule,
Yeah.
you
for
know,
sure.
and raising babies and learning how to find our way. What would you tell yourself back then, now, today?
Specifically, like pertaining to be married to law enforcement, or just like in general,
Just
me
in
myself.
general of that age,
Mhm.
and then we'll talk more about the law enforcement balancing and stuff.
Yeah. I think I would tell myself that you don't have to produce to be seen.
Oh, I love that.
Hmm. That I don't have to do it all.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. That, yeah, I'm just like worthy of being loved, just being.
Mhm. You're really good too about taking breaks on social media
Mm,
when you feel like it doesn't serve you and you're like,
mhm.
I don't have to do this.
Yeah, but that was learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're very intentional about that. And you're also very authentic. You know, something that I think we both very much relate on is we want to show up as our true self on social
Mhm.
media no matter what.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, because it is a highlight reel.
Yeah, for sure. And there was a time where when you're social selling of any kind, which is what I've done for so many years, people are buying you, right?
Mhm.
Whether they're choosing you as a personal trainer, or they're buying products from you, or they're choosing to buy a home from you, or whatever it is, they're buying, they trust, we all hear it, know, like, and trust you, right?
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you have to somewhat perform on social. You have to be present, you have to be top of mind. And there's this like thing you have to do, right? And so you're always considering what are people thinking.
Hmm.
And there was a big lesson for me in uh, a few years ago that was like, this is not in alignment. I do not want to post anything based on what people are thinking. And
Mhm.
this is where it's coming from. And I feel it, and it's not in alignment with who I am. And so then I just stopped. It was like a 9 or 10 month break where I
Yeah.
just stopped, and I posted a couple things about the
But
kids.
you talked about
I
you
did when I came
taking
back.
You
when
were
I came
very open about
when I
it.
came back, I made a long
Yeah.
post about what I had learned and how I was going to change, how I was going to show up, and it was only going to be in alignment with who I am. And
Mhm.
most of the time, I still feel like I mostly post about my family
Mhm.
and things that connect that I connect with about mental health or about thought-provoking quotes or and then with work, I only post when I feel excited.
Yeah.
When I have something to share, when I'm in a great mood, when I'm like, "Oh, people will learn from this." Um it's when it's forced that I don't flow.
Yeah. What was it like being married, particularly with our spouses having such a high pressure role?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've said this, but I'm not married to him anymore.
Mhm.
And so that was tough. I mean, it was Marine Corps and police officer and they're taught to be hyper vigilant and everything is a threat. Everything's a threat to protect themselves
Mhm.
and others, And so everything has to be perceived as a threat in order for them to operate. And that is not healthy, for a being,
Mhm.
and also not something that is sustainable for me. It wasn't sustainable to live with.
Mhm.
And so I prefer to see the good in people and yeah, I prefer to I'm not necessarily trust, right? Like
Yeah.
I've learned that too, but yeah, just like really see the benefit in people and also have a lot of compassion. So if something is going awry, I immediately think like, well, what has that person been through or what brought them to this
Mhm.
point? And so sometimes that thought process didn't align with me really well. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough life.
But do you feel like it also helps, form the way that you parent differently now too from a healed place because we understand kind of that life and what it's like um constantly having to be on guard,
Yeah.
and
That's not good for your nervous
it's not
system.
good for your nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And not being in that lifestyle,
Mhm.
as you know, I mean, we haven't been in that lifestyle now for many years, and so kind of undoing all of that and coming to a place now where like I don't miss it
Yeah.
at all.
Me either.
I'm so grateful for everybody that serves and
Mhm.
God love them. I mean, it takes a special human being. But yeah, I was just, because a lot of times it's also very demanding hours. And
Oh,
so
for sure. Or
you're
nights or,
yeah, and
yeah.
holidays. And
Mhm.
so, you're single basically momming it
Yeah.
for while also building a business,
Mhm.
and trying to figure out the last minute calls like, oh gosh, I'm not coming home.
And then you hear about all the bad things that happen.
Right.
So, work comes home, those conversations happen and you're often just hearing all the worst stories of what
Hmm.
happened in the city that day.
Yeah.
And we're not meant to handle that.
Right. Okay, so switching gears a little bit, what has it been like building? Because both in Texas Fit Chicks, it was all female,
Mhm.
and in Synergence, it was all female.
Mhm.
Females sometimes can be very drama driven. So, what was it like building in female dominated circles in network marketing and sales and real estate, et cetera?
I love women.
I do
So,
too.
yeah, yeah, I mean, I think you see it's like that's that compassion I was talking about. So
Hmm.
you see where people are I'm really good at just kind of seeing through people and seeing what their intention is
Hmm.
and what's your objective here, and I can see it and then I can like work with that even if you're not saying that.
Yeah.
So I think that that is so helpful when it comes to working with women. And then it's like, oh, I see you might want this, or it sounds like you're this, and like, oh yeah, like yeah, just relationships, great relationships with women, and steering clear of drama, steering
Yeah.
clear of uh, insecurities or gossip, steering clear of gossip. I think is huge. Not being part of
Hmm.
things like that.
It's
But
easy to get sucked into that.
yeah, I feel
Yeah.
really lucky that I've worked with a lot of great women, and I don't feel like I've had a lot of drama.
Hmm. So now in your schedule as it is, because it can be very busy and very
Right.
demanding. I mean, particularly with 3 kids alone, right?
Yeah.
You've got You've got one that's going into his senior year. You've got one that's already graduated, and then you've got another one that's going into his
Eighth grade.
eighth grade.
Yeah.
So juggling your business and juggling your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
what do you and Ben do to stay as grounded and as connected as you guys do?
Mm-hmm. We do date nights, which we love.
How often?
You know, we used to do them weekly. Now it's like monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a pretty demanding situation right now as well. And so we're just like in this season of knowing yeah, it's very busy. And I g- we talk every day at length about our days. And um even this morning he had to go, and then he texted me and he said, how are you today? Like, how, because he I yesterday was challenging, and he's like, how are you today? And it's just like that, yeah, talking about our days, talking about
You
uh
show up for each other.
and connecting. I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's really what I'm trying to say, is like connecting every day
Mm-hmm.
and not letting the days go by without making sure that we're staying connected. And also honoring, like, hey, I'm not feeling very connected.
Yeah.
Let's connect.
Right.
That's natural too. So yeah, I think it's all we just live our life with a lot of intention.
Mm-hmm. Derek and I are very much the same way. There are times that he'll have to be like, "Hey, you've been gone. Can you be here for a second?" Because I
Yeah.
don't realize sometimes I lose track of time because
Mhm.
we get caught in the rat race. And I love and appreciate that he feels comfortable and safe to be able
Yeah.
to say that.
Well, that's because of you, because you're like, yeah, let
Yeah.
me do that.
Because I
Because you
never
could
want
get
him.
really mad and
Yeah,
be
not at
like,
all. Like
no. I mean, you could be
that's
bothered.
that's my dude, man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And we've shown up. I mean, kind of going back to the whole earlier days, you know, the way that we sort of coped with that lifestyle was that we would do date night every single week. And it didn't
Mhm.
matter. Like our thing was we would go grab dinner together or go to the movie and grab dinner at Studio Movie Grill or whatever, but we showed up for each other every day and every week intentionally where it was just us. And even when the kids were younger, if we couldn't get a babysitter, we would just, order in dinner or go pick up dinner and go up to the movie room,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
just making a conscious effort of being there together.
Together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay, if you could go back, I'm sorry, what's something you believed back then about success or friendship that you don't believe anymore?
Oh. Oh, the hustle.
Mm,
Yeah, then in order to be successful, you have to hustle.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I think I love to work. I love to work.
Hmm.
And not at the detriment of myself or my family,
Yeah.
And so when you love to work, I mean, I think you can just like pass over everything else,
Hmm.
especially yourself. And so yeah, now it's like, okay, I can still be very successful with more intention,
Hmm.
and I don't have to be killing myself to do it. Actually, that's not successful to me
Yeah.
anymore.
It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not. I had a big aha moment. I actually texted the chat yesterday
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
you saw. I turned over a listing. I was like, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
don't have the capacity to do it. And it was a very hard thing for me,
Mhm.
particularly in this industry. Like, no realtor ever says
Yeah.
no to work. But I knew that this one wasn't going to serve me. I knew it was going to be very difficult and very challenging. And I just was like, you know what? I trusted my intuition. And I feel
Yeah.
so flipping proud of myself that I did that.
Mhm. You should be.
So proud of myself.
Yeah.
But it's still a work in progress. Like it's a constant gut check,
Yeah, but
definitely.
how did you feel doing that?
Oh my God, relieved.
Yeah.
Like so relieved. Like I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like I did that. So
Yeah.
much so that the first thing I wanted to do was come and tell the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And like
mean,
live in that. Do more of that.
I
Do more
know.
of,
It was so freeing because I knew that first off, again, it's about chasing the paycheck. And I don't want to chase the paycheck. I want to commit to those that I've already committed to. I want
Yeah.
to serve them. I want to show up for them. I want to sell their houses.
Mhm.
It's a harder market. It's taking more time, right? And
Yeah,
more
and if you commit
energy.
more, you're like diluting.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So quantity is not always quality,
Yep.
right? Okay. What is, one piece of advice that you would give to a woman listening right now who's in the thick of it and maybe still in a hard relationship or still trying to figure out who she is?
Mm, that's good. Yeah, I would say first of all, you're not alone. So know that and everyone doesn't do it all. Like,
Hmm.
we just don't. So if you're putting that pressure on yourself that like, yeah, you don't have to do it all, and it's okay if it's messy,
Mhm.
and to try to get to a place where you can be really still with yourself and like listen to what you want.
Mm.
And
I love that.
yeah, and it will take time.
Mhm.
It's those things are not instant. So be
But personal
gentle.
development is always ongoing.
Yeah.
You have to
The older I get, the
always
less I know.
right? Seriously, isn't that the truth? Okay, so if there was first off in your real estate journey, because you were a realtor prior to
Mhm.
becoming a sales consultant, a new construction sales consultant. What is your favorite or wildest story of real estate so far?
Oh man. Oh, wild. I mean, this is the first one that's popping into my head was a squatting situation.
What?
Yeah. And
Who did you represent? The buyer or the seller?
wholesaler buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, going into this home that somebody was trying to sell as is, right? And yeah, people had moved in and made it their own. And it
And the
was
seller didn't know.
no, the seller didn't know. And it was
Wow.
awful. I mean, the seller was out of state and yeah, it was unfathomable that people could live under those conditions. And what was I don't want to be like a downer, but there was like a little kid's mattress and toys and stuff. So it's like, oh, a kid had lived in that situation
Oh
as
my
well. And so
gosh.
that was probably the most shocking. I'm sure I could think of more if I had more time, but yeah, that's probably the most shocking situation I've ever had.
And what do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about building a business?
Oh man. Well, that you're not good at it at all. One, you don't have to know it all.
Mhm.
And you're not good at it, all of the facets.
Yeah.
Like you're good at the thing that got you the idea and the starting and the thing, but you might not be great at the financial piece, or you might
Mhm.
not be great at the marketing piece, whatever the thing is, or the social media piece. So you don't have to know all of those things. You don't have to be an expert in all of those things. You don't have to like don't let that hold you back.
Mhm.
If you just feel like, oh, I don't know how to do that, well, you hire it out,
Mhm.
delegate that.
Mhm.
So I think that people want to have all of the perfect pieces together,
Mhm.
and in having a business, that is not at all the way it goes. And I think
Yeah.
real estate specifically is the hardest job out there. I do. I mean, I've had lots of jobs. I've had corporate jobs. I've had management jobs. They've all gotten me to this beautiful pocket that I'm in now. They all have yeah, they all have like these tidbits that make this perfect thing now. But as a full-time real estate agent for 4 years, that was the hardest job that I
Mhm.
had ever had.
Mhm.
And you do the most work for free.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's fun though, the strategy,
Mhm.
to be a really good real estate agent, you have to be a great strategist and you have to outplay. You have to know your contracts and you have to, yeah, just really think outside the box. And you and I have worked together on deals where we've outplayed
Mhm.
people and just by knowing
Mhm.
real estate and just
Mhm.
by knowing the law um, and what
Yeah,
you can
we
and
had a
can't
fun
do.
doozy. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I would say like, man, hug a realtor,
Hug a
hug a
realtor. When
realtor,
they're in the corner crying, hug them
hug a
twice.
realtor.
There are a lot of tears. I mean, people don't realize how messy
Yeah.
this industry is and, and how hard and, you have to constantly be filling your cup because
Mm.
it is draining.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things I get to do now on this other side is I get to take care of my
Yeah.
realtors and I get to host really fun parties and events and bring people together just for the sake of networking and celebration. I had a really fun Valentine's kind of pampering thing and I'm not asking for anything in return. I'm
That
just
was
like,
beautiful. I
"Hey,
got to be there.
come
Yeah.
celebrate. Let me come celebrate you." And then also, we pay our realtors full commission and on Build on Your Lot specifically, we pay at the front end when construction starts instead of the back end. So I love being able to tell agents, hey, we can take care of you. Not only can I take care of your client, bring your client and let them be our client. And this will be the easiest money you've ever made. And because I'm going to really take care of them. Like, you don't have to fight for them. I got it. And I know I used to be on the other side of it. So like, I got it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to connect with you, how can they find you?
On Instagram, aim to build Lux. Like, my name is spelled AIM to build Lux.
The number 2 or the letter or TO?
TO.
Okay.
Yeah.
So AIMTO
TO build BUILD LUX.
LUX.
Aim to build Lux. Our website is partnersinbuilding.com. You can find my contact information on there as well.
Perfect.
And I'm around.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I just
so
love
fun.
you.
I love you.
18 years.
Cheers.
18 years.
Arms.
And oh, there we go.
Cheers. Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
I'm glad to have you always. And you know, we've got mutual clients that we're working on right now on build on your lot, and they rave about the experience that they're having with you, by the way. So it's really important for people to understand how in reach a custom home actually is, because I don't think people understand that there are options out there. And so I felt like it was really important for our listeners to learn about that. But also, we just have a whole lot of history here. That's just a lot of fun. And I'm sure we could have a whole nother show about
We
the
were
stories.
actually talking about so much before the camera started rolling that we're like, okay, let's wait.
I know, seriously. It was a lot of fun times.
Yeah.
A lot of fun times. All right, guys. So, you know, one of the biggest myths in business is that it's all strategy. That the key to success is found in systems and scripts or someone else's blueprint. But the truth is, none of that sticks without personal development and without healing, which is certainly something that we've had to really, you know, hone in on and keep to the forefront of not only our lives, but our businesses. Without learning how to communicate, how to set boundaries, and how to show up as your full self, you know, it's hard to go any further. I wholeheartedly recommend taking the DISC assessment, learning kind of where you fall on that graph and where other people fall, so that you can learn to identify other people's personality and you can meet them where they need to be met and they can meet you where you need to be met. But the beautiful part is that Aimee said you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't. You just have to be willing to start. So start. We did. You can. So we built things that mattered, but I think the most sacred thing we've built in this version of ourselves is this authenticity and friendship and truthness and uncomfortableness
and
you
trust.
know, and trust. Big trust. You know, if this conversation has reminded you of a friend that maybe you need to have a conversation, or you need to celebrate them because they supported you through a conversation or a season or anything like that, tell them. Don't be afraid to tell people. You know, Aimee said, don't hold the compliments back. Go and find that person that is on your heart, that's on your mind, that you think about, and tell them. Life's too short, you guys. If there's a friend that you've been in the trenches or has loved you through your rebuild, text them, tag them, share this episode with them. If you have an Aimee, tell her. Aimee, I just love you. Thank you for being here.
I love you. Thank you.
We'll see you soon?
Yeah, see you soon.
Good. All right. All right, guys. Well, that's it for us this week. Join us next week as we welcome a new face to the mix. I can't wait for you to hear all we are spilling there. But always remember, it's real talk, real tea. Real stories unapologetically told, because you can't make magic in beige lighting, and they wanted tea, but you gave them bubbles because you're a champagne friend. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay fearless, and always spill it like it is.
That's a wrap on this episode of Real to the Tea, where we served the real, spilled the tea, and left you with that motivational magic on top. If you laughed, gasped, or shouted same at any point, hit that subscribe button, drop a review, and share it with your ride or die. Follow Amanda on Instagram at Amanda Rupley, and catch the unfiltered visuals at Real to the Tea on YouTube and the Gram.